this week's episode of Oh, She's Funny. I'm your host, LP, and this week's guest I'm so excited about. She's an actress, she's a writer, she's a friend. You've probably said, Oh, she's funny when you've seen her acting in things like Barry, Werewolves Within, Desperados, which we did together. Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later, Big Little Lies. Hello, ever heard of it? Chad. And a movie that I've never spoken to you about that I spent time fast forwarding to all the parts with you in it called Moving On, starring none other than Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. You're always a scene stealer. You're so funny. I'm so glad you're here. Sarah Burns, my buddy. Welcome. Hello.
Hi,
I
LP.
love you.
Thank you. I love you. And you're the only person who's ever believed in my zoology. So
I've
for that,
always believed in it. And now, something we're going to talk about later today, bringing up baby is, I know where your zoology began.
mm,
But we'll get into that. I I really do want to talk about Moving On, which is a movie that you're in with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, like multiple scenes with legendary women where you're like talking to them,
I was just
to their faces.
to their faces 20 minutes ago. I was thinking of an anecdote I thought would be like funny to tell
Great.
Jane Fonda. She mentioned Lake Bell. She said, "Do you know Lake Bell? She's such a wonderful actress." I said, "Yeah, I know Lake. I worked with her on um Wet Hot American Summer." Whenever I remember to put sunscreen on my daughter, I always think of Lake. And I went into this ridiculous like anecdote about just talking about putting sunscreen on her child, something that she probably doesn't remember, but for whatever reason stuck with me, like this fascinating bit. Like, everyone just be quiet, Sarah's telling the story again.
Oh,
And I just watched her face like, ugh. And I felt, oh God, that was so boring. And I feel like I embarrassed myself with her more than once.
she's
Yeah,
Jane Fonda.
yeah, I guess if you're not embarrassing yourself in Jane Fonda, what are you doing with your life?
Then how could you not be? Like, she's like a royal person.
That's exactly like, I forget who I was talking about this with during the filming of that. Jane and Lily are like our royalty. I
Oh
truly
my
believe
God.
they're, I mean, Jane Fonda is gorgeous. Like, she's
She looks
gorgeous.
incredible. So does Lily, but Jane Fonda really, whoever's doing all that work is doing wonderful.
It's really incredible too, like to see, like, Lily made a joke, and I got this for whatever reason. I just kept getting put in a group of chairs with them, and we would wait.
Amazing.
And I
Amazing.
but Lily was making a joke at one point, and she turned and like just kind of made a little smile at me, and her eyes crinkled up the way Lily Tomlin's. And
Uh,
I was like, I'm still embarrassed about not remembering my lines when Jane asked if I wanted to run them.
oh my God. Sure, let's run those. And then just no idea.
Like, thought I was just gonna figure it out 5 seconds before. Oh my God. They're just like, they're so prepared. They have such a neat dynamic. They're two strong women who are friends and have been friends, I assume, for decades.
Yeah.
And they just work so well off of one another. It was very intimidating, but they were lovely. They were lovely hosts.
Did you have like a buddy on set be like, oh my God, can you believe this is happening?
I spent a lot of time hanging out with Malcolm McDowell, who I love from Clockwork Orange.
I'm okay.
If you saw his face, you'd be like, oh my God, of course. But
Okay.
I had a poster of him on my wall, and I told him that, and he was like, well, Sarah has good taste. But I hung out with him, and he obviously wasn't thrown by them.
Right.
And they're like, I did spend time talking with this woman, Dee, who was working on the movie. It was lovely. And
Because it didn't seem like there were like peers of your age, on the
no,
set. So it's like, you want like a buddy of yours there, like, holy shit.
yeah, I know. It was, I would talk, I guess, maybe probably when I came home. Like it
Yeah.
was just a real thing because it's in one hand it's normal, this is what we do for a living, but the other hand you're this like 8-year-old watching all of me. Oh,
Yeah.
like what? I wanted to be a lawyer before I saw all of me. And because of all the paperwork that Steve Martin had, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And that was a Lily Tomlin, all of me,
Yeah.
Lily Tomlin, Steve Martin movie. So I think I must have just pivoted right to whatever Lily was doing and decided, oh,
Yes.
that seems fun.
Absolutely.
No paperwork.
You could have called me after set every night. I would have gone over that with you. I had no idea. I was looking at your IMDb and I was like, what? How did we not talk about this? We're friends.
It's weird. I think I go into a zone, like I don't know what it's like. I go
Yeah,
on
sometimes you're just like away working and then you're back and yeah.
it's been so long since I've had that issue.
Yeah,
To
what's that like?
oh, it makes me so nervous the last couple of years of COVID and the strikes, which I strongly support and believe in, and perhaps an pending like IATSE strike. And
Hmm.
but taking all the stuff that happened to everyone, the whole world, it's just been a little frightening because
Yeah.
to be out of steady work, is this the landscape of my career going forward? Is this just temporary? Did I piss people off? Like I don't know. It's just an abyss of questions. And that they're all very hard to read because
Yes, my hope is that it's all cyclical and we're gonna just, it's down right now, but we're gonna come back up and it's just so much work coming in the future.
we'll be exhausted. We'll be sweating through all of
Be
our fine shirts.
we'll be in our cold pools that we all have.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
frozen ice pool. Uh, I have I have a bathtub in my garage right now.
Okay, that's not
Well,
usually
well, only a car can do it. No, it's to replace my disgusting bathtub in my um bathrooms. This is another one of these stories. Maybe we could get Jane on the horn and
let's see if
Jane,
we
I don't
can
know
get
that.
her.
Just like, God damn it, go to hell, Sarah Burns. But anyway, my point is I could pull that out onto the road and use it as a pool if necessary.
That's really nice. Some kind of like cold dip. Free,
Yeah,
what are they
cold,
called? Cold
ice,
plunge.
a plunge. Yeah, a little plunge
Cold
pool.
plunge. Yeah, those are very popular. Don't get rid of that bathtub.
No, that one is the one I'm keeping. The horrible one I'd like to smash into
Ooh,
dust.
I
It's just
wonder
so
what's wrong with the horrible one. Ugh.
it's just like I just want to. I don't have like anger towards it. I just think it would be fun to just like grind it into sand. But
Well, you don't have to do that. Sarah Burns, what we're here to talk about. You just look scared for some reason.
no, I just was.
This is the easy part. This is the easy part because, well, I'm going to say how we met because that's an adorable little story of me finding you to be so hilarious on stage at an improv show, probably in some type of basement.
It was.
Um,
We were. It. It
I
was at
know at the point we met it was outside a bathroom, but what was the what was the venue?
Siberia,
Siberia.
and the performances were down in the basement. There's a little stage there.
Improv has to be in a basement.
That makes
Otherwise,
me think.
otherwise what are we doing? So Sarah Burns, sweet, this is 20 some years ago, sweet little angel on stage being a hilarious weirdo, amazing choices. Like, who is that funny girl? I must know. I'll follow her towards the bathroom. I don't know when I made this decision, but I guess I got brave and then you came out of the bathroom and maybe we said hello to you. I think it was Melissa was with me. And friends ever since.
It's so crazy. I'm so glad you came over and talked to me because that moment is burned in my visual memory. And
Sometimes you just see someone so funny, you're like, I gotta know that person.
yeah, sometimes do you ever see people on the street and think like, if something was different or or I was not in my car, we were passing each other, or perhaps we met somewhere, I'd be that person's friend. They look
Yeah.
like a cool dude, or just a happy dude, or just
Yeah.
like someone you'd be like, that person's having a good day. I'd like to know them. But
It
there's no,
doesn't happen as
yeah,
often as it should.
but it,
Life should have more meet cutes.
yeah, that was a pretty neat, cute, but in a super New York way with like an overflowing wastebasket of used tissues.
Yes, yes, yes. But so you were doing improv in New York. How long had you been doing improv? Were you doing it like in college, in high school? Were you like a theater person?
No,
No.
I was like theatrical in my life, I think, but I wasn't theatery. Like I was, you know, whatever you can imagine, the younger version of whatever this thing is, that was me. And um, I didn't pursue acting or comedy until, well, I tried it as a younger kid, and I went and got a manager from my town, and I went to a few auditions, and my mother was like, I can't see this as your childhood. This is
How
not.
old is this child?
She was 12.
Okay, that's young.
And my mother just was like, she was looking at the kids in the room, and just, they're just either they were, too canned, or just she just didn't want that for me. And she didn't want me to be rejected.
It's a lot. It's an experience for both of you, for you and mom.
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine taking my daughter somewhere and somebody not wanting her. I'd be like, whoa, let's discuss this outside. I'm so protective and crazed. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thankful. Sometimes I wish I had started earlier just because I might have a better foothold, but then I remind myself that it, you know, this is like I think it's the Vitruvian Man. It's like this Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci drawing of a man who's on a wheel, and it's just I might be messing it up, but you know, but when you're on top, when your head's on top and you're upright, you're on your way to turn down. So even if you're
Right.
on the top of your mark, and tomorrow you're heading towards like the lowest of lows. So whatever, who knows what's gonna happen.
It's all changing all the time.
I got two tubs. I
One,
can't stop.
two tubs. All
Two
right.
tubs. Pounds.
So at some point you decided I'm going to start doing this improv thing.
Yeah, I took an acting class for free in Soho, and then I I kind of just landed in an improv class. I thought it was funny. Like people had told me for a long time, "You're so funny, you should do stand up," and which I took as a compliment, but didn't file it for any useful reason. And then I was in some class, and somebody was like, "You should check out the UCB,"
Hmm.
and I did, like, immediately. And I started taking classes in October of 2001. And then a couple months later, I was on the team, and just became, the juggernaut of the improv.
And then like a rocket ship, here I am today.
Yeah, I went really fast, but I did not go very far. But I just got there really fast.
Oh, sure,
So
sure, sure. Um, that's interesting. So you like, I remember you saying, I know what type of music you're listening to as a young person. You were a little bit of a gothy type as a younger. So like you weren't like a fun, were you a funny goth?
yeah, I wasn't super dark. I was
Okay.
still on my goofier. Like even now, went to my friend's house for dinner last night wearing black horns. Like I just, I'm still who this dork, but like I love that. Like I love that aesthetic. It's so great. Oh, and I always keep saying too, like goths are really sexy now. Like they were not sexy
Hmm.
when I was growing up. Maybe because we were kids, but I remember seeing a kid walking up the street in a black cape. He like totally pale. He dyed his hair black, and he was flapping his fake wings. Like, and I was like, oh my God, there's another goth. Oh my God, what an asshole. But so like I wouldn't say like now people are just like sexy and like everyone's shirt is ripped and you know
Yeah, they're all vintage and put together and curated and
filtered,
yeah.
I'm assuming. But no, this was sexless people flapping fake cape. up the street and people driving by in the exact outfit going, asshole. Ugh. Turn up the Sisters of Mercy, mom, which, she hated, but
I love that. Okay, so while you were just being a dorky goth, who who what type of women are you watching on TV and movies or whatever that's inspiring you and speaking to you as a youngin?
well, at the time, and by the time I was in high school, I was getting into stand up, but I had been watching comedies like old time comedies since I was a kid.
Yes.
Like I'm saying, I would say like 8 or 9, I was watching Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant movies. And like I would, which is interesting now knowing a lot about her quote unquote comedy career. If I had to think of the first, like my first comedy, woman in comedy, it would be Katharine Hepburn because I've watched
This
this
is
movie.
incredible.
Well, she had to, so that, okay, I'm jumping ahead because I'm getting fired now.
Get passionate, get fired up because I'm not a person who watched old-timey movies. So I asked Sarah what her favorite were you just gonna say what your favorite movie was?
You,
I asked Sarah what, which one should I watch? What was like a key one, your favorite one? So it's called Bringing Up Baby. And just to let people know, it's not about a baby. There's no child in the movie. Baby is a leopard named Baby. It's an actual wild animal leopard. So
yeah, they actually filmed with a wild animal leopard, and
clearly, yes.
it was like it terrified Cary Grant. He couldn't be in the same room with it because at one point it lunged for Katharine Hepburn and like clamped on her back.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, I'm sure she'll be fine. That leopard seems chill. Let's just get this shot and go to lunch.
It seemed like this movie was crazy to me.
Mhm. It's like a screwball.
Screwball, it doesn't even begin to describe. It made no sense. She's like the craziest woman I've ever seen. She's like stealing cars and she's just like, what does it matter? I just need a car. She's just
Yeah,
like,
a height of privilege during the Depression.
oh my God.
And so what's that? Would that have been the Depression? I was like,
It was 1938, I think, what that was when the movie came out. I don't know when the Depression was.
the Depression, I think, was the 20s. And I know that because of an improv group that performed at the UCB Theater called the WPA. Because so much of the stuff I learned in school, which you did too, it's gone forever until
Exits.
a child goes to high school and I relearn all this stuff. Or I
Yes.
see an improv show called the WPA Project. So I think it was in the 20s.
Okay.
The stock market crashed and the Dust Bowl happened, and then 1938 shit. That's like the worst, the beginning of Nazi Germany in Europe.
Yep.
Or, but anyway, to get back to comedy, she was not a comedic actress and was overdoing her comedy scenes in the beginning of filming, and they had to pause and coach her
And tell her to
how to
chill
be
out.
funny. Yeah, just chill, just say the lines, don't be like I'm Cruella, because she already was.
She's speaking, they're all speaking fast in it, but she's speaking so fast.
She's, what are you going? What are you gonna leopard? Like I can't even do it. It's just
Yeah. To just like running words over top of themselves and just like speed walking through things and just they're falling all over the place.
so much falling. I think Cary Grant, and eventually because of all the pratfalls and um ended up having to like take pills to help. I could be speaking, I don't
Oh
want to,
no.
but like, because all that stuff is done, without any sort of safety measures in place.
Yeah, it's 1938. What were they doing? They were
I
just letting this leopard walk around set.
listen, if I fall down the stairs and break my jaw, that's better than getting pounced on by a leopard. So I'll take it.
I feel like they were just like in a room and they were like, we've got an animal handler that says he can make a leopard do stuff.
Just don't look them in the eye.
Should we just make a movie with a leopard? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah,
And that was it.
yeah.
What it made no sense.
and it gets, it's, one of the things I was thinking too, it's like there's stuff you're into when you're a kid with your family, and
For
then you
sure.
bring
Yeah.
home like, yeah, well, you bring home your new partner. Hey, we want to meet my family. We're all going to watch this movie together. We love this. And they're just like slack jawed, like, what?
Yep.
You can't have somebody try Carvel for the very first time in their
Mm.
30s, because they're gonna be like, excuse me, this is considered, I love it.
I love it too. I don't know why you're disparaging Carvel like that.
My partner, I got him Carvel. We went home to visit my parents, and he was like, all right,
With the crunchies?
yeah, I can't figure it out.
Well, it's Geo. It's not a regular,
It's not a regular human
it's
being.
not a regular like test there. That's
Exactly. It's like
special circumstances.
half half cougar, half,
Yeah, you gotta like crush a
you know,
beer can on top of it or something, and then I'll
yeah.
like it.
Yeah, if we could put his fist through like some boards to get to the cone, he'd be like, this is pretty
Right.
good.
It was like
The
too
crunchies are
easy.
worth. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I would say then take the Carvel thing out, because that's just fucked up. But if you show something to someone, you're like, it was amazing, but
Yeah.
your 8-year-old self thought it was hilarious. And then the more I watch it, the more hilarious it is. And I tried making my daughter watch it,
Did you?
and she was like, what the not interested. Well, she's also, I think the black and white thing
Black
for
and
her,
white for sure throws people.
but
It
it's
throws
so,
me, and I'm like, it shouldn't.
but I think because of how much I watched, all these films growing up, and just tons and tons of Cary Grant films, and I hated the Stooges and the Three
Yeah.
Stooges, and but I loved Laurel and Hardy. I grew up watching them. They're not but women, uh I was used to it. But I think people don't spend that much time showing that to their kids now, or so that it's just like, why would I watch it? Because things are so hyper real.
Yeah, it's totally different tonally and looks totally different. It's like, where did this even come from? What planet was this made?
Why are they running around with a leopard? It doesn't.
They running around with a leopard?
That scene where they're like trying to hide, they've lost intercostal clavicle because the dog, I forget his name,
It's like
has,
Gary or George or
yeah,
Gary,
George, it's like a George,
Gary or George
George.
or George.
And they're calling for him at one point, George. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's taken the intercostal clavicle and buried it, and they start to hear the leopard roaring, and the man who was like, he thinks he's this most incredible zoologist or expert, is trying to make a sound with his hands, and ends up making a sound a mile away, and still believes it's him, of
Yeah.
course. And it just, the way the scene goes on, and the woman that plays her grandmother or her aunt,
She's great. Yeah.
right, I don't know, I'd have to look, but she's like she was a formidable actress.
Yes.
It's one of those movies where they get every part is filled by somebody,
Yeah, it was also interesting to see how it was shot too. Like there's not a lot of like cuts to everybody's single and it was like we're just doing the scene fluidly together and then we're gonna move to the next scene.
so merciful. I bet their days were so great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, we only have a half a page, but there's 19 people in this scene. So it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
That's a little absurd, but
But yeah,
yeah,
that grandma lady, she had a way about her. You could tell she'd been like doing it a long time and just nailing it.
and like the guy who plays the jail keeper who's drunk, of course he's an Irish character, so he's going to be drunk. I think that was his shtick. Like, yeah, it was like, there was a movie that I watched that came out years later called "It's a Mad, 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 Mad World," and that's another one of those movies. It's like a complete screwball insanity, but they have every part is inhabited by an amazing actor or actress. Like, Ethel Merman is in it, and she's who else is it? Milton Berle is in it. There's even a scene where, shit, why am I forgetting his name? Jerry. Jerry. But the big Jerry before Seinfeld or Springer,
Oh,
he
I
was
was gonna say Springer, yeah.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis, the guy who hates female comedians.
Yeah. Yeah, the one who started out kind of strong and just kept fucking talking. But he drives through a scene at one point in a car and just runs over a hat. Like, and it's just like every part was populated by someone at the top of their game. They played to whatever their strength was. And
It sounds like a little movie that you're gonna be a part of.
yeah, that's not why I brought it up, but as I was talking about it, I was like, oh man, Sarah, just make this one about you.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you did. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, the movie Unfrosted, directed by Jerry Seinfeld, that is due to
Starring
come.
Sarah Burns.
Yes, I don't know how Jerry Seinfeld or Melissa McCarthy or
Yeah,
um,
we're not sure like what the final billing is, like who's top or whatever, but it's probably, you
I'm
know,
probably first just because it just seems right. But
yeah.
like Amy Schumer's also in it, some.
Yeah, there'll be like a lot of people. It's going to be a long list, but definitely Sarah
Yeah,
Burns.
yeah, top bill. And I think Jerry just wanted it that way. But every single part is played by someone who's just so fucking hilarious. There's the scene that I'm in, and um, Cedric Yarborough is one of the pallbearers, and he just bursts into song, like a mournful, like funereal song, and you couldn't keep your shit together. It was just so funny, like just.
Is the story it's Pop-Tarts, right?
Yeah, it's about the race to be the one who gets Pop Tarts
Is
on
this a
the line.
comical story or is this like this is really what happened or this is like some farce of like we made this funnier and
I think he made it funnier. I think well, I know that he based it on a joke of his, like a bit of his.
okay.
Point was, I wanted to make a movie that was just pure silliness and pure joy because people are so down right now, and they're
Oh,
just.
that's nice.
Yeah, and it's just, and his humor was nice. Like, there were no victims in his humor. I felt like he just
Mm-hmm.
looked at scenes or scenarios and thought they were funny. It wasn't like, look at that guy being an asshole.
The
So
trailer is like, oh my gosh, this person, what a delight. How fun. Look at them. Wow. It's like you're gonna be so excited every scene. There's someone fun in it.
yeah, oh my God, Sarah Cooper. Do you know Sarah Cooper? She kind of blew up during the
She
early
do
days.
the Trump lip
Yeah,
syncs. Yeah, yeah.
she's in that. She's so awesome. She's just like I
Oh,
remember like
that's great.
watching those videos during early days of COVID and just being like, this is fucking hilarious. It's just sometimes the simplest, purest things are the greatest inventions.
She
Like,
makes that look so easy.
I
And to
know.
me, that looks like how many hours could that possibly take?
And, to have to sit through that stuff while learning it.
Memorize it and listen. Like how many hours?
My brain is scrambled. Now it's poached. Now it's fried. It's scrambled again. I need to take a walk. Yeah.
But they were very good.
Yeah. Yeah. She's pretty awesome.
Well, that's really exciting. When does that movie come out? Do you know?
May 3rd.
May 3rd. Catch it, May 3rd.
And wherever you catch Netflix movies,
Oh,
on
it's
your
on Netflix.
couch.
Okay, great. Catch it on your couch.
Yeah, you don't have to leave your home.
I wanted to say about Katharine Hepburn that she obviously was a very respected actress, but she did go through this period where like she had a couple of box office failures and people were like, "Oh, maybe she's not so great." So she did this thing where she bought out her contract at RKO, got the rights to her next movie, The Philadelphia Story. Do you like this
Uh,
movie?
I love that movie. I've seen that movie so many times.
Well, she did something with the rights to that movie where she sold it so that she could be the star of it. And then that movie was a success and she got nominated for an Oscar and then everybody was like, "Yay, we love her again."
It's awesome to have the confidence not to be like, shit, you
Yeah,
know,
she'd like
I want to just hide and just like, they'll figure it out for me. She was like, no,
she was like, "I'm gonna pull a business move here."
I'm gonna pull a Hepburn. Like she's
Yeah.
pretty pretty fucking strong. Like she was, sorry, I'm F-blasting, but she's pretty remarkable. I've read a bunch of biographies about her. I went through a phase where I was just kind of consuming so much stuff about her.
Hmm.
And I always, actually weird, this is weird. I always think this is another this is one of these great stories. One of these
Well,
great stories from Sarah
let's
Burns.
try it. Let's try it.
It goes nowhere. But I always think of her. I read somewhere in one of her books that she was like, I cannot stand a person who says, what can I do to help? I would rather a person just dive in and begin helping. And so I always think of that when I'm at someone's house and I want to be helpful. And I say, what can I do to help? And then I don't ask and I do nothing. And I usually just pour myself more wine. 4 hours. What? I have to go home now? I'm sorry, I fell asleep. So
You
I
know,
always think of that little like,
staying out of the way is helpful.
I always believe that. It's like, I like when people are at my house, I want to, host them and take care of them. So
Yeah.
I'll do it at their house, unless they expressly desire my know-how in their silverware drawer. I'm on it.
Right. Like I feel like when I'm at my friends or they're at my house, like let's just have a deal where
No,
like I'll do my dishes, you do your dishes. Like it's fine.
it's fine. You listen, anytime you come here, I don't want you lifting a finger.
I don't want you lifting a finger. I want to help you. I want to entertain you. I want to give you a massage.
Oh, okay.
I want to
When can I come?
braid your hair.
Yeah. What about now the massage? It was like a 90-minute.
It's 90.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
It's a full body 90.
Cool.
I'll get my table out.
And that's one of my favorite things about coming over.
Yeah, there's always a 90 and I make a dinner that's good after all those toxins are rubbed.
So, like you're always saying, drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water. I never stop saying it. One of my worst habits is drinking water.
Are you not a water drinker?
No, I'm a coffee drinker till probably 4 p.m. and then I have a glass of water. And that's probably it.
I've been like going through a phase where I'm not drinking any water, and it's like I'll be handed a glass of water, like drink that water, and I'm like,
Just knock it away. Get the
no,
fuck
get
out of here.
out of here. No, I want to do exactly what's wrong for my life. Um,
The other day I was in a kind of a bad mood and I was like, maybe just take a sip of water.
Did it hurt?
Not totally, no, but maybe I needed more than a sip.
I started a 19 car pileup on 10. And I said, maybe I should just take a sip of water. And oddly, it didn't quell my demons.
Yeah.
I was thinking too, you know, one of the things like after seeing Katharine Hepburn and just being into that and I never was into Audrey Hepburn. I didn't watch her movies. We're talking about all the Hepburns. And it wasn't until college that I checked her out and was like, I preferred the goofy weirdo to like the gorgeous,
I mean,
you
they're
know,
both gorgeous, but
yeah. Sorry, Katharine Hepburn, you're pretty gorgeous. But I went from her to like Carol Burnett, watching Carol Burnett on television
mm,
and like Vicki Lawrence and just
mm,
unbelievable. I mean, those shows, the Carol Burnett shows, those shows are insane. They're so funny.
so funny.
And just like Carol Burnett is so unbelievable to me. She just,
Have you seen Carol Burnett on this Palm Royale show?
oh, I haven't started that show yet. I auditioned for it, but neither here nor there. But
Nope.
I haven't. And when I was looking at it, I was looking at the billboard. I was like, wait, is that Carol fucking Burnett? That's so
It's
awesome.
fucking Carol Burnett. And the first few episodes, she's just laying in bed.
Great. She's smart.
Good
I
for
would
her.
now.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God. I do want to watch it because it looks like, they're all murderers. So like I would love to.
It looks like the cast of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Everybody's a hit. What's it
What
called? Unfrosted?
unfrosted, yeah.
Yes, it's not called Pop-Tarts. It's called Unfrosted.
Well, somewhere when movies are translated and played around different, the the titles are so funny to me. They're
Mm-hmm.
like the Italian version of this film that I was in called Slow Learners is called like Awkward Sexy People. Or like or no, maybe I mean now why is it in English? I don't know. But anyway, it's in some countries
But
somewhere.
translated, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I get it.
sexy people. Which I take great offense to because I'm not
Mhm.
awkward at all.
Or sexy. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Just
No,
kidding.
I'm wildly, like a hyper sexual,
Hypersexual, hyper awkward,
kind of what I lead with.
hyper person.
They call me tits out burns. So
Hmm.
well, I'm
Yep.
trying to get out there, but
That's how we're listing you in the title of the episode. Tits Out Burns
tits out
talks
burns.
Katharine Hepburn.
Yes.
Burns and Hepburn. Is that why you did it?
Yeah, I was trying to get her to sign on for like a sketch show for a while, but she was not returning my phone calls.
No, yeah, she was maybe retired by that point or
My dad said he walked by her house once in New York City and he was like, he's convinced that she was sitting in the window. But I think it was like, a fantasy of his. But is she
right.
still Burns walking by? But
That's my grandmother used to sit in Brooklyn and look out the window. That just reminds me of like an old lady habit. Just look out the window.
that was what I did. I swear. I will
Sorry, it's
like
just a lady habit, I
no,
guess.
no, I'm good, but honestly, like it's like I feel that I'm like half old lady. Like I have so many old lady.
But in New York too, you could look out the window and see so many things.
One time I actually stopped watching Young Frankenstein because it was less interesting than what was going on the street. I was just
Hmm.
like, pause. What is this man? Some man was out on the street shouting. There was a guy uh, across the way in this weekly hotel across from where I live, swinging a hockey stick at
Uh-oh.
someone. It was just so much going on. I was like, this is and the people who lived across from me, their bathroom was directly across from where I sat at my kitchen table, and they never closed the windows or the shades. And so, like, I would sometimes like have a full-on view of a man sitting on a toilet, and
Wow.
that was the only time I ever saw their. Anyway, oh, she's
This
funny.
is call Jane Fonda. Get her
Yeah,
on.
get her on. God,
She's missed several of these, and I think she would
still through
like,
this day.
yeah. All right. What else about Hepburn have we not covered? She was a well-respected actress. She wore very flattering high-waisted pants.
Those were great.
Um, she was a screwball comedy actress, if there ever was.
I thought she was great with Cary Grant. I wonder if they got along.
Well, yeah,
The Philadelphia stories with um James. Oh my God.
I don't know
What
who that's with.
um
Not with her lover of many years, Spencer Tracy. Is it?
oh, yes. So that is such an interesting thing because she was so strong. And the way she talked about Spencer was like he was this man, like this bull of a man that
Mm-hmm.
almost she kind of took a slight backseat to like a half backseat to it just seemed that way. I guess so interesting because I think of her as like the strongest.
Right, but she like let him take the lead.
Yeah, it just feels that, but you know what? That makes her even more interesting and complex.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what's what's great in the bedroom is not great in the dining room. I don't know. I'm not gonna put that on paper just yet. I'm gonna workshop it.
Yeah, keep mulling it around, see what works out. But it'll be part of Burns and Hepburn for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's probably what we're gonna open with. If she returns my calls. So
Oh no, she passed, Sarah.
what? I'm the expert on her.
Sarah, she passed in
Ah,
2003.
that is so crazy.
Yeah. I think she was in her 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
it's funny, like, I wanted to do a bunch of research on this, but I was like, just, this is your opinion. He was
It
like,
is
"Do you,"
your opinion.
it's just, it's like,
It's
you,
not a
I can,
book report. It's just your opinion. How did
I
she affect you?
I treat everything like a book report. I
Oh,
like go crazy. I get so prepped. I think because of not being prepared for a lot growing up. Now
mm-hmm.
I'm preparing for stuff that's doesn't, you don't need to.
No, this is just a cute little chat between buddies who met outside a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about ladies who are funny.
Yeah. And I think we done good.
You done good.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. We should do it more off of Zoom or on Zoom, whatever you prefer.
I like it
Um,
all.
I like it all too.
As long as we don't talk during those massages though. That is a
Always quiet.
crime.
Always
I've had,
quiet.
I've had numerous massages and once like where I've just halfway through, I'm like, all right, this is just not going to end. I got to keep going. Cause like this person, one woman was telling me so much detail about her life. She started telling me, I knew that her son was living off the grid. I knew what state he was living in.
No.
And I was like, oh,
You can't be doing that. No.
there's no,
Um, all right. Well, don't go back to that place wherever that is. Stick with me, kid. I'll give you all your massages. I hope everyone knows I do not give massages. Please do
yeah,
not call me for massages. I could see it now. Everyone requesting massages from me. It's not going to happen.
maybe that's what my phone was ringing about, is that people were like, can you get me her number?
Probably. Yeah.
We're like, how do you know that's what we said? Because this is not broadcasting right now.
Before we go, I like to give a recommendation of something that's, oh, she's funny related, or that you could say that about. So my recommendation this week is a television show. You may have heard of it. It's called Girls Five Eva.
Oh,
Season 3 is on Netflix right now. It's so delightful. It's so funny. Meredith Scardino created the show, and it's very like 30 Rock, Kimmy Schmidt paced, where it's like joke, 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 but then there's also like delightfully funny songs in it at the same time, where like Sarah Bareilles sings, and so that's like a beautiful concert while you're getting jokes. And I just think it's so well done, and please check it out. So
and
that's my
Paula
rec.
Pell is in it.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, the entire cast: Paula
I,
Pell, Busy Phillips, Renee Lee Goldsberry, and Sarah Bareilles. The cast is like gem on gem on gem on gem.
it's such a funny idea for a show. It's so,
It's so funny. It's really, really good, and I can't say enough about it.
is it going in? Its third season's airing right now, right?
Third season's airing right now on Netflix. You can watch all 3 seasons on Netflix.
Okay.
That was unpaid.
Unpaid. Well,
These are
listen,
unpaid. This whole podcast is unpaid in case anyone was confused.
I've,
Oh, I'm paying you.
yeah, I was gonna say I've over $5,000 so far.
I'm just talking about me. I'm unpaid
Yeah,
for anything I say, do, but I'm paying everybody out the wazoo.
the wazoo.
Sarah, do you have a recommendation you want to share?
Well, yes, I do because every time I watch this show, I can't get enough of this woman. What We Do in the Shadows, Natasha
Mm.
Demetriou, she is so funny. She is whatever she does, like she just has the best instincts. She's I think she could have chemistry with like a brick. Like she, she's so funny. She's super glamorous. Of course, she's super goth in this, so
She's right up your style, Allie. Yep.
hands up, baby, hands up. But I just love her. I love the show. I love the people on it. I love the whole scenario. But she's
Really
just so,
shining.
yeah, some like even when she's screaming at someone, it's like, well, doesn't that sound like, oh my God, I was on this and this vampire was screaming at me. It was really stressful. It's so funny. I love her. So I recommend, she was also in this thing that her brother did called, shit. Um, her brother, Jamie Demetrio, created this show that was on, uh, it was in like England, and she played his sister, and she played someone who was really dim. And it's unbelievable. it's so hard unless you're so whip smart in life, you know? And
Absolutely, yes.
Sacha Baron Cohen got so much respect for playing so stupid, but like there's oh man, there's also this woman on a podcast right now who's shit. I wish I could remember her name, but anyway, Natasha Demetriou did it, and she's just I love her. Every time I see her in something, I'm like, right on.
Awesome. Okay, that's great. Well, that's two cool shows to check out. And where can we find you, Sarah, if we're on, say, Instagram or the internet?
In the internet, I am on in a little room hiding, the door shut and a towel rolled up.
Smart.
Just
Yep.
hiding and just trying very hard not to Google medical conditions. And
Mm,
but I'm on Instagram at sarahburnsme.com.
love it. All right, go find Sarah Burns Me. Follow Oh She's Funny podcast on Instagram. And thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye bye.